just gotta start somewhere. Why not? Today, it'll be all about. Sometimes in life, we gotta go after something that we truly feel passionate about. And sometimes you gotta start. So start somewhere. Start with the intent, but then apply the action. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've been holding myself back for so long because I look at all these other amazing podcasts and the technology that they have behind them with the clips and the speech with the video intact. And I'm not there yet, but I can, as my socks say on the bottom, start somewhere. So as much as I did a lot of self-reflecting, I decided if I really want to bring this to life, I just have to start somewhere. Just start somewhere. Start, one episode can lead to more, can lead to growth, learning. I had this discussion with a friend. Actually, he said, you know what, it's amazing, because if you listen to all the other big, successful podcasters out there, they had to start somewhere. Some started in their car with just a mic or an old phone, just started recording, loaded it up onto, the Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatnot. And, but they started somewhere. And then they've built upon that, and they've gotten mentors themselves, and they continue to have mentors. They continue to learn. They continue to put in the work and the effort, and they push back their excuses. And sometimes they have their days too. They have their moments. We all do. We all have our moments where we get in our heads and we doubt, or we slack off, or we not. But as long as we are consistently doing something each day, and we're starting somewhere each day, and we find ways to combat the curveballs and the trials that come to our lives, and to overcome a lot of the toxicity that can come into our lives as well. How do we navigate around that? How do we push through that? And how can we be a little bit more resilient and pivot? Because I can tell you, I've been there where I have almost lost everything. Divorce can suck sometimes, but at the same time, trying to rebuild back your life, it brings back this sense of joy, this sense of purpose, determination to become the best version of yourself. And that is all I've tried to strive. And I look around and I am impressed with all the other people that I see who have been knocked down to almost ground zero, knocked down to rock bottom. And they found a way to get back up, to persevere, to push through all the hardships, to humble themselves, to let go of their pride, their ego, and ask for help when needed, but to do it in an honest manner. And I think so many of us have got caught up in trying to keep up with the Joneses, or keep up with the Richards, and the Joneses keeping up with the Richards, and the Richards keeping up with the Clarks and whatnot, instead of just focusing on what we need to do to feel our best inside, to feel our best on the outside. What brings us happiness? What brings us joy? What brings us purpose? What brings us fulfillment? How can we go out there and make a difference and do something good, instead of sitting back there scrolling on our little phones? And I'm guilty of it too. I've done it before, where you just spend hours just scrolling instead of going and applying action and getting out there and doing something for yourself that's going to help you feel better, so that you can actually go and help somebody else feel better and make that ripple effect and pass it forward. And instead, so many of us are in there hiding behind our screens, pretending to be someone we're not, or putting on a fake mask and trying to replicate somebody else's art, or comparing ourselves to others and then defeating and making ourselves feel worse about ourselves. And I can tell you, half the crap you see online isn't really what's truly going on. You don't see what goes on behind closed doors. You don't see that many of them are putting on a smile just to get by or to make other people feel good and believe that they're not struggling, when deep down inside, they probably have a lot more that they're struggling with than they let on. So don't be too quick to judge a book by its cover. Don't rival and don't assume some things that you don't necessarily know. Like I said, you gotta start somewhere. And that starting somewhere actually starts with yourself. It starts with yourself. It starts with getting deep, digging deep, and getting really honest with yourself. I had to take some time to do a lot of self-reflection, and I was like, why am I out there? Which is cool. It's great if you want to help build other people's dreams too, and sometimes it's necessary to help build somebody else's dream up first too, to be able to be building your dream up along the way. But I sat there and I'm like, how many other people's businesses am I building their dream up on? How many people are trying to get me to join their teams? Or when in reality, deep down inside, it's not really what I find myself passionate about. It's not truly what I see myself doing long term. So I had to be honest with some people, and I had to be like, you know what? I appreciate the offer and the opportunity that you wanted to give me and to be a part of your team and your network and your company and your business, but I need to start focusing on building my own brand and my own business and managing my own. Is it gonna be easy? Heck no. But am I ready to just get started? Heck yes. Heck yes. And wherever it leads, cool. Is there gonna be some longer days and longer nights than others? Yes. Am I gonna have some hardships and curveballs along the way and setbacks? But I was listening to another speaker. I don't know if it was Coach Payne that said it, or another big, I think I've also heard Ed Mylett say it too along the way too, but it also is that these setbacks, sometimes the setbacks in life are actually your setups for a great comeback. So I am ready to make my comeback in all areas of my life. And sometimes that does mean you have to step aside. As much as you care about your families, sometimes you've got to step aside from the toxic family members, the family members that you've tried to help but don't want your help. Because how can you truly help someone who doesn't want the help or doesn't want to help themselves? How can you can continue to set an example, you continue to try tough love, but then if you try all of that and it still seems to not work, maybe sometimes there's strength, as in what Eddie Pinero, one of my favorite speakers, just his way of storytelling. I've learned so much from him. I admire his work, I admire his storytelling, I admire his courage to step away from something that didn't continue to serve him in his life and continue to go make a difference in his life, but now he's making a difference in so many other people's lives too, including mine. And that is because you have to start, like he said, your world within. You have to start within yourself. So that is why my first episode topic was about start somewhere. I was also inspired by this amazing, amazing trainer. She's somebody I follow for years too. And I read one of her posts and it clicked there. I was wearing my socks that I'm wearing right now called, let's say, Start Somewhere on it. And I was like, that's it. I don't know why it's taken me so long to overcome and just get away from the fear, because it's just true. I have to realize my first podcast episode, it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay, because all I can do is get better as I go along. And the right audience is going to connect, it's going to click. So this is Resilient Angels you've been listening to, and I leave you with this message today. Carry it on. Find ways in your life to be resilient. Go make a difference in your life. Go spread it and make a difference in somebody else's life. Go spread sunshine. And if you really like this episode, go share it with somebody else. I hope you continue to ride along this journey of Resilient Angels, and continue as we progress throughout the years. I'm gonna get back to my workout. I'm looking forward to going to see Boys in the Boat, hence why I'm taking on some rowing workout sessions throughout this month as I get ready to see that movie based on a true story of the Olympic team. I want to say it was in 1936, the Olympic rowing team. They had to persevere. And so I'm gonna watch the movie first, and I'm gonna pick up a copy of the book and read the book for myself too. So I will encourage others to go check out the movie, The Boys in the Boat, and then also, if you want, grab a copy of the book yourself and read it for yourself. All right, back to it. Let's do this. Let's be resilient. Let's persevere and start somewhere.